what is my honest outlook for NIO stock, and also when am I going to buy more, because I am planning to buy more. So as of recording this video, NIO stock is at 6.67, down almost 7%. Definitely a very spicy price. Very spicy situation. I got myself a bunch of NIO stock back at 11. I'm sitting on it, even though I'm not a financial advisor, but I guess for me personally, there's no point in selling right now, because why would I sell? Oh, the reasons that I bought into this company are still valid. All right. They are the technological leaders. Battery swap is, of course, very game changing. Yes, selling vehicles are kind of hard. And actually, I'm going to tell you a very honest truth. I think that selling vehicles would be very hard to be profitable. Okay. In my personal opinion. And that's why the other investment thesis, why to buy into NIO stock, is very important. All right. That is, of course, the partnerships. With these swap partnerships, every single vehicle that the competitors sell that can do battery swap, they would have to buy the battery pack from NIO. So NIO gets a chunk of the revenue, and this is going to be highly profitable. And they don't have to worry about whether or not the competitors are able to sell the car or not, because NIO has already sold the battery to them, right? So this is where I think the investment thesis is really, really strong. And yes, when you're competing with other guys for vehicle sales, it's going to be hard. But NIO is going to be like the battery supplier almost, in a sense, okay, to these partnerships, and then also get a lot of money from these partnerships. And I've made a video dedicated to that, about 6 new revenue streams from these partnerships. Go watch that if you haven't already done so. But that is coming very soon. 2025, 2026, we're going to see this partnerships being expanded. Lots of people building these kind of vehicles that can do swap. So that is a very bullish investment thesis, even though if you think vehicle sales are going to be bad for NIO in the future, the partnerships, those partners, they might sell really well. They might have to buy a lot of these battery packs, these Alps battery packs that can do battery swap, and they would have to pay NIO a lot of money for that. But I also think that sales decrease, it's temporary. All right, it's not permanent. I think it's a lot of the reasoning is because chip isn't upgraded to the 8295 yet, and also not enough incentives. Some people are perhaps waiting for the sub brand as well. So yes, in a sense, we are once again in that phase where people are waiting for the latest product. They were waiting for the new chip, or waiting for the sub brand. But I do wholeheartedly believe that one day NIO will actually surpass Tesla, all right, because of everything NIO is doing. Now, very interestingly, and I'm playing the devil's advocate here, all right, I've seen a couple other videos here in China discussing about NIO's R&D spending and all that kind of stuff, how they're making everything themselves. And one of the counter arguments for that was they said back in like 70s, 80s, IBM and Microsoft were big competitors. Microsoft was more focused on the user experience, whereas IBM was more focused on tech and doing things the best they can. And then it turns out Microsoft actually prevailed and became much more successful. Now, that could be valid, but I think here for NIO, even though NIO is very focused on the tech side of things, NIO is also very much focused on the customer experience of things. Most NIO owners are very satisfied with their vehicle. NIO has a 70% recommendation rate, which is quite high. And to be very honest, NIO is making a lot of changes to remove a lot of the freebies. Even daily sign-in bonuses here in China are going to be removed on the 17th. So NIO owners won't get free NIO points every day. But in Europe, I think you will still get free NIO points. So definitely still sign up with the NIO app if you haven't already done so. But honestly, I think from now on throughout 2024, it'll be a very good accumulation period in my personal opinion. All right, if we do get down to $5 a share, very attractive price in my opinion. And look, I think by 2026 we could easily get back up to $20 a share. No problem at all. You know, back when NIO stock was at $60 a share and I said we might go to 22, people were calling me nuts and insane and crazy. All right, but here I am. The whole entire thesis for me is sub-brand is going to be successful, even though it's also going to be very competitive, and there's a risk that the brand might not be well received or people don't know about the brand, and that is certainly a risk. That's a risk that NIO decided to take by not launching the cars under their main brand, which I wish they did. But you got to live up to your decisions. But then also, we're seeing the government really push forward with battery swap and really support NIO as well. And also, from what I know, NIO is definitely not going to go bankrupt because NIO has so much technology. They're sort of like the pride of China now in terms of tech and innovation. And even if they get very cheap in terms of market value, somebody's going to scoop them up. And there's so much support from the government that this is not going to happen, in my opinion. All right, not financial advice. By 2026, $20 a share. I think by the end of this year, by the end of 2024, we're probably looking at back to $15 a share by the end of this year, hopefully. All right. And at minimum, I'd say $10 a share. All right, just my personal price targets. 2026, definitely over $20 a share. But those are, of course, my personal price targets. I think now throughout the next couple weeks and couple months will be great accumulation periods, in my own opinion. All right. And look, I want to make it absolutely clear that the stock could potentially go down even more. All right, that's just the way it is, but it's on big discount. So to rephrase my price targets, $10 to $15 by the end of this year, and by 2026, so end of 2025, 20. And look, NIO hasn't even done price cuts. Imagine what will happen if NIO does do price cuts, right? They're still holding on with the slogan, no price cuts, but I think they're gonna give in very soon, and they have the room to give in. So we'll have to see about that. How much longer can NIO sit still with these kind of delivery numbers? All right, everybody's cutting prices. I'm sure internally in NIO, there's lots of people also saying, we got to cut prices. We got to cut prices. And there's definitely internal debate about that. And I think eventually, price cuts will happen. Eventually. Okay? So, NIO stocks on big discount. Are you running away from the discount or are you buying in? Let me know in the comments down below. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Peace out.